Cool, so this is Mono Red Pirates, Mono Red Buccaneer's Bravado. It's built around getting the most out of an instant trick that gives your pirate double strike, which is a pretty powerful effect, considering pirates have a 3/3 menace, they have a small menace creature, they have a fire breather, they have Swaggering Corsair. So all the creatures in the deck are pirates, 4 Firebrand, 4 Fathom Fleet Firebrand, 4 Goblin Trailblazer. I've got a single Swab Goblin, because I think the card is great, and I mean, what's the point in playing Pauper if you're not having fun? 4 Headstrong Brute, because Menace is powerful, 3 powers a lot if you're going to start double striking it. Swaggering Corsair as well, you have enough 1s and 2s that typically Swaggering Corsair comes in as a Nessian Courser, or Centaur Courser, a 3/3 for 3 is what we want. 1 Crash Through, because sometimes we're going to have to Buccaneer's Bravado through a creature, and Crash Through draws a card. Samut Sprint for surprise pirates, also because 2 power for 1 mana, and the Scry interacts well with Buccaneer's Bravado. You got Shock to deal with small threats that can go face if you need it to. 4 of the namesake card, Bravado. 4 Run Amok, because it's a big pump and has and has Trample. If that's Trample, do we really need Crash Through? No, I don't think we do. Okay then, we'll put another Sprint in. Oh no, not Samts. Forgive my inability to type. Samut Sprint, 1 more Samut Sprint. So back to what we were saying. Run Amok, +3/+3 Trample. Again, in combination with the Buccaneer's Bravado, you're looking at 8 bonus damage between these 2 cards. Pirate's Cutlass, pretty nice as well. Especially the free equip once it's in play, just snaps onto your creatures. There is a black-red deck that's a bit less all-in on Buccaneer's Bravado that I've seen posted on Reddit. The user's name... What was the user's name? Your post title is Trash. Pretty classic name. And they've got Grasping Scoundrel, Fungal Infection, March of the Drowned, Deadeye Tormentor. So I don't think the black adds all that much, to be honest. They're playing less Bravados, less ways to make Bravado good. No Swaggering Corsair. So I'm in on this. I do like that March of the Drowned gives them a slightly more grindy game plan, but I don't think it's worth making the mana worse, especially when you're playing 1-drops. And their deck was playing a lot of 1-drops and 5 come into play tap lands, so not really in on that. Alright, let's get into the queue. Let's get into the queue with Mono Red Bravado Pirates, new and updated. Let's go. Let us go. What was I doing? Switching the record back on, but also making sure it actually reflects that we are playing Mono Red Pirates, and that the deck has not lost a game, also has not won a game, and also that it is on screen. Fantastic. So this hand, we're on the play. We have a Shock, a Firebrand, piratey cards. If we draw land, this hand's very good. We're not playing very many lands is the thing, but I think we can't mulligan it. Although I could be way off base. Healer's Hawk is probably going to get shocked here. Well, I mean, we're playing Fathom Fleet Firebrand, so definitely going to shock it here. Ooh, he drew the land. As long as nothing happens to this Firebrand, we're in a good spot. So then the question becomes, what do we do? I think we attack with the Firebrand and hope opponent doesn't trade. I mean, if they do, we can just make a Corsair. So we're going to make Pirate's Cutlass, because we get to attack again next turn. Oh, it's when it enters the battlefield. Wow, I have never read that card in my life. I thought it was like the Lorwyn or Morningtide equipment where it snaps on when a creature of that type enters the battlefield. Jeez, I'm bad. I mean, don't think it's the end of the world. Do think we missed some damage with this Firebrand. But that's okay. If opponent blocks with Daybreak Chaplain, gives it +2/+2, we can actually Buccaneer's Bravado for a... Actually, if opponent blocks on +2/+2s, we just pump Firebrand, right? Oh no, it doesn't pump toughness, so we just play Bravado. Kind of mana inefficient. We'd much rather not have to do that. But we'll see what happens, eh? While they're blocking... Yep, +2/+2. So, kind of sad we have to spew off this Bravado. But it does mean we get a 2-for-1. A good, clean 2-for-1. And we're the one left with the 4-3 after the dust settles. And Dwarven Priest can't block Fathom Fleet Firebrand as it stands. Try saying that 3 times quickly. Wall Screecher again. Opponent doesn't really have a good block because we can just pump the Firebrand. The opponent might have another trick. But now opponent's seen Buccaneer'S Bravado. Might have put the fear of the Bravado in them. This Samut Sprint could be pretty decent if they choose to block as well. Because we actually do have a toughness pump. Just the Griffin. Is the same thing happening again? I mean, we might just trade for the Griffin. Is this Adamant Will? Adamant Will's kind of, it's fine. We just trade the Firebrand for the Adamant Will. The opponent had to take a turn off attacking. We're going to make a 3-3. And once the 3-3 has a Pirate's Cutlass again, it's just bigger than anything opponent's really doing. Like, it's bigger than Rustwing Falcon. Hopefully opponent just attacks with their flyers. If they just attack with Silverbeak Griffin, that's fine as well. The opponent has, what, 4 power? Knight's Pledge on Screecher. That's fine. So we're racing. I'm happy to race. Am I happy to race? I'm okay with a race. I am okay with a race. So what are we doing this turn? So, what are we doing this turn? So Swaggering Corsair gets its opponent's attacking us for 6, so we have 2 turns. At least. At least 2 turns. So this plus this plus this is a play for next turn. So yeah, we are just going to attack for 3 and we're going to play another 3-3. We're just going to attack for 3, make another 3-3. Hopefully opponent draws a land. If we draw land, we can do everything. If we don't draw land and we haven't drawn a land, Silverbeak Griffin, that makes things bad for us because now opponent's next attack is lethal. Now opponent's next attack is lethal. Opponent might just set up their next attack. So this is 5, puts us to 8. Opponent has 8 power. We could draw a shock if they make this attack and not be dead, at least. We could draw a shock and not be dead, at least. And the Falcon comes in 2. So this puts us to 7. So a shock still saves us. So for that reason, I think I'm going to sprint end of turn. And just look for a shock. Well, we didn't draw a shock. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool. So that's still fine. I don't think the Pirate's Cutlass misplay cost us that game. Opponent just had tricks and made their creatures a bit too large for us to reliably attack through. We didn't have a Headstrong Brute to sneak through with Menace. So that's unfortunate, but oh, and my Twitch encountered a problem. Baloo Wenger, or Baloo Venga? Baloo Wenger is our opponent. What do we have here? We have a hand. Is this a good hand? I mean, we've got the Cutlass Firebrand Bravado. I guess we'll see what happens. Opponent's playing green, and we did draw the land. So that's something. That's certainly something. Yep, opponent doesn't play anything worth shocking. Here's a Firebrand. Here is a Firebrand. Gonna Cutlass it up next turn. 2 Bravados. So over 2 turns we could have some fun with this Firebrand. Yep. I thought Cutlass wasn't going to trigger and was like, how do you work? But that's how it works. We're okay. We are okay. Don't know why Twitch isn't working for me tonight. It's kind of a pain. Oh, there we go. Looks like it is. Fantastic. So we're drawing a Swaggering Corsair. They've got a Bloom Hulk. I'd really like if we had a Run Amok or something in this hand. I'd really like if we had a Run Amok or something. I guess we could just double shock down this Bloom Hulk and Buccaneer's Bravado them. Not opposed to that plan. Alright. In for 10. In for 10 with the boy. Well, that's a large and in-charge Keratok. So opponent's at 6, though. Like, if we just run out some pirates, opponent's not in a great spot given our hand. They have to block, actually. And then we just pump Firebrand. Then we deploy a Firebrand. And then if they do nothing, we can give it the sword and get in with Bravado up. If they draw if we draw Run Amok, opponent explodes. There we go. That's more like it. Playing a deck that feels reasonable. I'm liking Pirate's Cutlass in the deck now. I understand how it works. Oh wow, what a depressing day. Our 5th win. We did get a Thought Erasure though, and actually no, it's not a depressing day. I'm having a fantastic evening. Just playing absolute garbage. Algernon 25 is our opponent for this game. What do we have here? Well, this is a hand, isn't it? I don't really like this hand. I like this hand more. I really like this hand. We'll keep this. We're on the draw. Well, I like this Trailblazer and this Run Amok. Yeah, I think this hand's pretty reasonable. Opponent is curving out. This will come in, sure. Ooh, we drew the land. That's fantastic. We'll play Trailblazer. Sworn Companions, sure. Well, that makes blocking difficult. We'll play Headstrong Brute. No attacks. If we draw land, we have a pretty good attack with Run Amok and Bravado, you'd assume. Although opponent does have a board full of creatures. This is 3, 6. So this is like... what? This is 20 damage if we get there. Do I attack with the Brute? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Opponent would have to put everything under the Root for it to go badly for us. And we could probably just get them with Bravado, actually. So that worked out alright. So, Run Amok Bravado is 14. Yep. I imagine opponent has Inspired Charge in their deck. We probably can't beat one. But... ooh, okay. Mountain. So. We're not attacking with Trailblazer. That's poo. We are going to attack with Headstrong Brute again, though. Let's see what opponent's taking it. So what could we do? We could do 14. We could do 14. Can we? Yes. So we're just going to do 3. And then we're going to play another Fathom Fleet Firebrand. And we're going to hope opponent isn't going to Inspired Charge. That's where we are at. Hunted Witness resolves. Hunted Witness resolves. Opponent's Luminous Bonzing at Firebrand, sure. Is opponent going to attack in? No. Okay. Then the question becomes, is opponent going to block the Brute? No. Okay, so Run Amok. Buccaneer'S Bravado. And that is 14 damage. Boom. And boom. Should have done something with your creatures. Fantastic. 2 and 1 with mono red pirates. Arr! Wish I had an eye patch. I could make one, but it would take too long and I'm lazy. Let's go back in. More mono red pirates. Ready. Eliala is our opponent. Eliala. Good name though. This hand is all pump, no creatures. This hand is sketchy AF, but we will keep it. We'll keep 6 land on top. That's not a land. As much as I want to keep this Firebrand, I think I have to try and hit a mountain. On my 1 draw step. Do we do it? That's a swamp. Okay. That's a swamp. Okay. That's a Footlight Fiend. We can never win. Okay. Well, we drew the land. So you're saying there's a chance. I mean, there probably isn't. Let's be real. So, excuse me, Headstrong Brute card art. No, go away. I just want to see the list. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, what's happening? Ooh, double echo. That's unfortunate. Well, it's a bit smoother working there now, so... I suppose with Headstrong Brute, Pirates, Cutlass, we could be in an okay spot. Hopefully the opponent doesn't have a way to remove a 3/3. The opponent gets in for 1 because they know we can't block, so the opponent is capable of reading our cards. And Blade Juggler draws them a card as well. Jeez. That's unfortunate. Ooh, we do have a Samut Sprint though. We do have a Samut Sprint though. We'll play Cutlass. Cutlass will snap on. We'll jam in for 5. We'll be incredibly sad if opponent ever has Obnixlus's Cruelty. Just incredibly sad. Just the saddest. Right? 4 lands from our opponent. Eviscerate would be bad as well. Herald of the Dreadhold is actually fine. Because what's the opponent going to do? Like, not? Okay, so they have 4. So we can run amok in combat here. Because then we survive, kill both creatures, get to trample through. Kind of unfortunate we don't have the mana to cast a Swaggering Corsair if they do go for the double block. Yep. Cool. So does Samut Sprint do anything? No. Run Amok, though. Pretty good times. Here's the question. Do I Samut Sprint now? Because we're trampling over currently. It doesn't trample naturally. And we get to scry if we do. I think so, actually. Ooh, there's another one on top as well. That was a good decision. Yep. So they all die. 7 damage gets pushed through. We now have a 10/4 menace creature with a Samut Sprint on top. Hired Poisoner and Footlight Fiend. So this is kind of awkward now. The opponent attacks. So what's the opponent going to do? They're going to block it with this Poisoner. Aren't they? Aren't they just? Aren't they just? So how much does this, and this cost? Well, that, and that isn't lethal. So I guess if we attack with Headstrong Brute, we get to kill 2 things. We have Shock in the deck, but I think we just have to attack in. Hopefully opponent blocks with both Footlight Fiends. No? We have Menace. Please block with both Footlight Fiends. What a bizarre decision. I'll take the 3/4. Yes. Sure. Resolves. Cool. Yep. So you get to dome me. Resolve all. Arr, I'm a Corsair. Go ahead. Hopefully opponent doesn't have like Moment of Craving. What's happening? Valid. Valid. Would Run Amok be a good draw? 2, 5, 7, 10. If they attack with both, Run Amok would be a good draw. They're probably not attacking with both, actually. No blocks. Damage. My turn. Well, that's not a good draw. So we are at 4. Opponent will attack us. Yeah. Yeah. So that's 5 power. Sure. Is this actually good for us? No, we're still dead. Cool. We explode. We do a bit of an explode. So that's 2 and 2. We split the 4 games we've played so far with mono red pirates. Straight back in the queue. Straight back in the queue. It's really the only choice. The only choice. Here's the deck list. Popped up again. Wonderful. Ready, ready, ready. Ready when you are. We're playing against Lorwyn. 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 Here's a hand. It's fine. We've got the combo. We've got 2 creatures that are pirates. We'll see what opponent leads on, and that'll inform what we play. How do we get a draw step before we have to make any decisions? Duress. Well, that's sad. Opponent knows what we're about. Does also signal opponent might be on Rat Colony or something. But we'll see. We'll see what opponent is actually on in the end. We're getting Duressed, though. My Bravado. Sure. The opponent doesn't know we have the shock, though, so hopefully they feed something shockable onto the board for us. I'd like... Ooh. Well, they're playing Rat Colony. So... I don't know how much game this deck has against Rat Colony. Trailblazer's probably better to lead on. Because I don't know how inclined opponent's going to be to trade 2 rats for a Trailblazer. Well, there's 1 rat. And a short sword. How bizarre. Well, we get to get in. I guess the deck has 1 mana floating sometimes. So short sword makes a... was it modicum a little bit of sense. A modicum of sense, I think it is. But does it, though? Really? Does it actually make sense? Because this could be a rat. If they're playing like exactly 1, I guess it's fine. But, ooh, they're attacking with a rat. I really just want to trade. Really just want to trade. Alright, can get in for 2. Pass. So opponent's on 16. We have 40. No, we don't. We have 12 damage here. So, cool. Yep, opponent has a ton of rat colons. So many rat colons. Take 4 from the colons. Not dead. Are we dead to another rat? Oh, wow. The short sword value. Insane. We are at... Ooh. Ooh. Does that do anything? So, no, not really. No, not really. But I think that what we have to do is attack with this Trailblazer and see what happens. So opponent's not blocking, so we are dead to a rat off the top, but opponent's hellbent, so they could just not draw a rat, which would be nice. In which case, we want to be able to kill the opponent in 1 hit next turn. So what are we casting this turn? So we're going to be Run Amucking and Bravadoing next turn, so we play at least a Run Amok. So this is 5, this puts the opponent to 11. So this is 2, 5, double strike lethal. Is there any reason to not cast Samut Sprint? We'd like to know what's on top. A Fathom Fleet Firebrand. That doesn't do anything. But it is a creature. If the worst happens to our... Nah, if this Trailblazer dies, I think we're kind of dead if this Trailblazer dies. So, let's see if they draw the rat. If they draw the rat, they have exact lethal. I think that was a risk we had to take. It's basically a coin flip, right? They play about 20-something rats. And opponent was dead on the crackback. So yeah, fair play opponent. You got me. You got me. It's not like we were winning that game by trying to block a rat, so... Were we? Nah. 2 plus 3 plus 1 is 6. 8, double strike 16. No, so it still wasn't lethal. Cool. So we had to gamble there. We lost the coin flip. But that happens, it's magic. Willock is our opponent, or well, Will 0C, to give our opponent the respect they're due. That is their username. That's the username they've chosen. This is the hand we've chosen. This hand is pretty good. I'm very much in for this hand. Obviously, pretty good is relative within the context of this deck, but opponent plays it. Grim Initiate. Grim Initiate? Well, we're not shocking that, I don't think. Also means opponent might be on like black-red sacrifice, or just mono-red with initiates to blank all the 1 toughness creatures. That's also realistic. Either's fine. Well, either's possible. Let's Grim Initiate coming in, never blocking. Absolutely never blocking. Absolutely never blocking. 0% to block. Another Grim Initiate. Okay. Maybe if opponent like... we're going to play Headstrong Brute this turn anyway. Definitely getting in with the brand. Because we have Shock if opponent's going to do something dumb like... what's the card I'm thinking of? Fungal Infection. Kind of awkward that we don't get to play Headstrong Brute though, actually. Maybe we shouldn't have attacked there and just played Headstrong Brute. Now I have to work out, is it worth saving this 2-2? If we save this 2-2, opponent just has a board of 1-1s, and we still have a 2-2. So I think the answer's... I don't know what the answer is. Because what's the alternative? We just say that Fungal Infection traded for Firebrand, opponent has a 1-1. Yeah, sure. Oh no, you got me. Maybe we should have sniffed out a Fungal Infection. It's just such an uncommon card. Obviously it's a common, we're playing Pauper. Haha, uncommon, send tweet. Yeah. Yeah, don't Heartfire me, bro. I mean, if you do Heartfire me... sure. Instigator. So Brute's looking okay. Brute's looking okay. So is it worth dumping a Cutlass on it? So Cutlass on Brute gives it 4 toughness. We have 1 shock to mess up our opponent. Do we think opponent would go for the quadruple block? I'm very inclined to believe they would, actually. In which case we should just send. Yep. But then what we will do is stick the Cutlass on after combat. Yeah, we'll stick the Cutlass on it after combat. Because we just need its power to be as high as possible. And if we draw a land, we can actually cast all 3 of our spells next turn. The opponent's coming in with all. Does this mean opponent has like Heartfire? Just Trumpet Blast, is this lethal? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I feel like I probably have to shock the Saproling or something. Oh no, should we have done the maths first? Because opponent was tapped out. So the opponent was at 15. This is 8. Oh no, opponent's just dead. Cool. Cool. Arr! Well, Fungal Infection doesn't actually get us, does it? The -1/-1 is big if true. In fact, if opponent has Fungal Infection, I regret that shock. Let's put it this way. There we go. Yeah, we should have held the shock. Although if opponent had land... No, because we were going to 4. Yeah, we should have held the shock and gone face with the shock. It didn't matter in the end in that game, but it was just wrong to shock the token, given that our plan was try and kill opponent on the crackback, and we were cold to Fungal Infection, because it causes us to miss out 2 damage. So opponent would have been left at 1 life. El Colmena, or El Colmena? El Colmena, you are my opponent. And we have a hand of cards. Kind of awkward we don't have any 1 or 2 drop pirates. Corsair's much worse in that situation. So we'll mulligan. This hand is interesting. Once again, we're looking for land off the top. Sprint is not land. Here's a Firebrand. Let's not sacrifice our Firebrand. Let's get in for 1. And then we get to pass the turn. Fantastic. Fantastic. Shocking my monkey. My poor, poor monkey. We didn't draw land. You can have a turn, opponent. Sometimes you don't draw land. And then those times, ooh, 1-3. Not a 1-3. 1-3s are the literal worst. For me, rather than against me. They're in fact pretty good against me here. 2 of them means Trailblazer's kind of sketch. Don't know if we can really assemble the combo against this kind of deck with this kind of hand. We were on a Malta 6 as well. If we lose this game, or if we win this game as well, I'll probably play 1 more game with the deck, seeing as we haven't been playing it for that long. Headstrong Brute. I'm just going to blow up now so we get another game in. You know. We'll blow up now so we get another game in. I'll probably play a game with like Azorius Control to finish the stream. If your opening hand doesn't contain any early plays, consider taking a mulligan. I did, and then it didn't go well, did it? Did it, Arena? Deathbringer. Like a Thoktar, our opponent is a Deathbringer. This hand's keepable, though. Stay with me, hand. Fanatical Firebrand. No play. Oh, sugar. Should have attacked. Why doesn't it let you still attack with your hasty creatures? Maybe I can pretend it was an intentional decision, but we both know it really wasn't. So imagine opponents at 18 right now, you know? Imagine opponents at 18. Can you do that for me? Please do that for me. My ego's too fragile to cope. Okay, what do we got? Nothing. Nothing from the opponent. Okay, send with both. Opponent's got something. Shock me. Sugar. Because I really want to cast this sprint. Because I really want to draw a card. But you'd think opponent would have killed Firebrand, right? You'd think opponent would have killed Firebrand. I guess we're not under any rush. I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I guess we get double shock up. It's tough. It was close. I really didn't want to get 2 for 1. I just want a land to be on top of my library. But I guess we still have plays, and opponent's not doing anything. If opponent was doing something, I might have jammed sprint there. But opponent would probably also have been tapped out. Look at this. Are they a color screwed deck? Well, there's another brute. Yeah, opponent's just passing. I suppose if they're just taking damage, I don't mind. Yep, 4th land. Are they color screwed? Spellgorge are weird. Sure. Okay. Okay. I'm going to shock this end of turn for 2 reasons. 1, because we have another shock. 2, that's the only reason actually, because we don't get to Samut sprint if we have to double shock it. So never mind. Never mind. We'll wait till opponent is incentivized to shock. So we'll untap actually. Will we? Will we untap? Yes. Because then we have Fanatical Firebrand, so we can do shock and Samut sprint in response. And still clear the weird, and still get to sprint, and still get to spry. To scry. That's interesting. Opponent's thinking. Opponent's thinking real hard. I wonder what they're thinking about. I wonder what they are thinking about. This little smiley face is eroding. Do not anger the timer. Dual shot. Okay. So what does this do? Sorry, let me read this. Deals 1 damage of each up to 2 target. So, shock this. Can I cast my spell? Sprint this. So we're going to get our scry. Lands on top, but now we know lands on top. And we save our monkey. And dual shot does nothing. Lovely jubbly. May I draw? Thank you. We'll play Headstrong Brute for the F6 value. And then it's your go, opponent. And you're at 10. And we're 1 mana away from... Oh no, we just cast Bravado and Shock and opponent dies. Warlord's Fury, sure. That will not save you now. Play a weird, just tap out for a weird, you know. That's what I'd like you to do. Tap out for a weird. Opponent explodes, so 4/4 with mono red pirates. The consideration now is we've got 20 minutes, probably about 20 minutes left in the stream. Do I actually want to play Azorius Control? We'll do a wrap on this deck first, then we'll decide. So, mono red pirates. Have a look at this. Once again, the creatures are all pirates. You've got your Fanatical Firebrands, your Fathom Fleets, your Goblin Trailblazers, 1 Swab Goblin, but you didn't know this card existed, 4 Headstrong Brute, 4 Swaggering Corsair. To go along with the pirates, the core synergy at the heart of the deck are pump spells that get even better when combined with BUCCANEER'S Bravado to give a pirate +1/+1 and double strike for the low cost of 2 mana. We have 3 shock to clear away small threats, to do things like we did in that last game with a weird. Pirates Cutlass is the new addition to the deck today, which is why we've run the deck again. I thought it performed well. 3 mana does mean it sits at the top of the curve. It's possible we want a 21st land, but lands after our 3rd do absolutely nothing. And our only real way to mitigate flood is to Samut Sprint lands to the bottom with the scry, which is close to nothing. So I'd rather be short on lands than have too many and draw loads of them every game. Deck's fun. Like I said, we 4/4'd in about 37 minutes. I was including making changes to the deck. So you can certainly win some games with the deck. It's not got a broken win percentage like mono red spells or a real deck. But for a meme, I will definitely recommend playing it if you're into pirates and double strike.